Have you ever heard the saying, not worth a Continental dollar? Do you know what it means? This saying simply means that an item has no value. It's worth absolutely nothing. Zip, zero. And it traces its origins to what perhaps is the most important battle of the Revolutionary War, the battle for funding. Let's see if we can make a connection or two here. In 1775, a year before they would get around to declaring independence, the Second Continental Congress found itself in a serious need of money. As George Washington would later write, Americans were not then organized as a nation, or known as a people upon the earth. We had no preparation. Money, the nerve of war, was wanting. The Congress needed to establish credit and secure loans, but most countries with the means to invest didn't think that the rebels surrounding Boston looked like a very good investment risk. Congress' answer to the money shortage was print it. They started the idea of printing $2 million worth of paper bills, but quickly decided they needed a lot more than that. By the end of 1775, they had printed 6 million bills. Some of these first bills were engraved by Paul Revere. They were so thick that the British called them paperboard currency. Most bills included wording like this. This bill entitles the bearer to receive 6 Spanish millard dollars, or the value thereof in gold or silver, according to a resolution of Congress. The only problem was that there was no silver or gold, just paper and ink. It's believed that the total amount of money in the American colonies in 1775 was $12 million, and none of that was in the hands of Congress. The printing had created 50% more money, but that didn't last very long, because war was very expensive. They fixed the problem by printing more money, with the promise that they could recoup the cash and taxes after the war was over. It was a solution that obviously couldn't last. The crisis of the war did not end quickly and continued for 8 years. Congress just kept printing more money, this fake monopoly money, and the people started to see there was nothing backing it. This began our young country's first experience with runaway inflation. The money that Congress paid lost value before it could be spent, causing prices to jump higher and higher. Soldiers found the money they were paid, if they were paid, to be worthless. By 1779, $100 worth of real gold or silver would buy only $2,600 worth of Continental currency. Hence the term, not worth a Continental dollar. 2 years later, in 1781, the same $100 of gold or silver coins, cold hard cash, could buy you $16,800 in Continental bills. After the war, the new nation found itself in severe debt. The soldiers and merchants who had supported the cause of liberty found themselves owing creditors and holding paper money that was pretty much worthless. The economy was in shambles, and it wasn't long before the United States government found itself struggling with debt. To overcome these problems the government had faced, a new constitution was created. The now older and wiser framers inserted this into its articles. Section 10. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque or reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payments of debt, pass any bill of a tender, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility. It seems that they did not want to be paid in unsupported paper money, but the damage was done, and the first generations of Americans would never again trust paper money. Andrew Jackson was only 9 in 1776, but he saw the damage. He turned his resentment of paper money and the federal bank that printed it into a personal mission to destroy the system. Jackson had the words, "I killed the bank," placed on his tombstone. It's not difficult to guess how he would feel about appearing on the $20 bill today. Some form of gold standard, backing the paper value of money with gold and silver, remained in effect in the United States until 1933. At that time, President Franklin Roosevelt outlawed, which was unconstitutional, all private gold ownership except for personal jewelry. The Bretton Woods system, enacted in 1946, created fixed exchange rates for gold between foreign governments and the United States Treasury. This system remained in place until 1971, when President Nixon ended the Bretton Woods system. Gold and silver no longer stood behind the dollar. And for the time in history, the official links between all major world currencies and real commodities ended. In the year 2009, the United States Congress, facing an economic crisis, passed a stimulus bill. This bill required the expenditure of money America does not have and cannot borrow. Sounds familiar? Their answer was to print or electronically create the money they needed. That even sounds more familiar. If it didn't work then, why is it going to work now? I fear the logic of Congress may not be worth a continental dollar. We have to remember that history repeats itself. We also have to remember that since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913, those are the people that print our money. The value of our dollar has decreased by 95%. The system of printing money with no backing doesn't work. It destroys an economy. It destroys the middle class. We must demand Congress be held accountable for this printing of money. We must end the Federal Reserve. Go to our website at thestoryofliberty.net. Check out our blog. On there you will find a bill to help audit the Federal Reserve. Please, click the link and let your local representatives know that you support auditing the Federal Reserve.